And we are back for another episode of CUZZO-OP. Two cousins, one podcast, endless entertainment. This is actually the 9th episode. We're one away from 10, Willie. One away from 10.
I remember when we were at 0.
So wild. Thank you for riding with us. That was my boy Willie. He's one of our hosts. My name is Isaiah, aka Ivy. I'm glad to be here with you. We want to take some time this episode, as you might have seen by the title and the art on our cover, to talk about Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Why do we want to talk about Fortnite? Well, I'll tell you why. We discovered more than 2 weeks ago. We've actually been talking about this for months, since like early last year, that Fortnite has become a major marketing stop for TV shows, movies, gaming, even music. And it has risen to a phenomena that I think it's worth discussing. There are some pros that it has on the entertainment industry. There are some cons that come with it as well, especially when you think of how Battle Royale played a role in the popularity of Fortnite. And so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, get the cart before the horse here, but Willie, can we jump in? Just tell them a little bit about your thought process on Fortnite and where it is now and how you've watched it journey to get to this point.
When I look at Fortnite right now, I see a hub of entertainment. For those of you who have maybe read or watched Ready Player One, I see it as like a prototype oasis where it is a video game, but it's so much more than that. They're implementing real life. They're doing concerts. They're doing Black History Month lessons. They're doing so much in the game that doesn't need to be there, that it's more than a game now. Which is crazy to think about what Fortnite was originally going to be in 2012 when it was announced. It's grown to be so much more that comes with both positives and negatives that I feel like this episode is going to be a nice breakdown of what Fortnite is and what Fortnite has done for the entertainment industry and video game industry as a whole.
Yeah, man. And so let's not even dilly-dally, man. Let's jump right in. I want to talk about artists. I want to talk about music first because we normally don't talk music, so I just want to touch it really quick. We all know about the numerous concerts that have happened in Fortnite. For those who don't know, we've gotten to the point where this video game has become, like Willie said, a hub, a stage for artists. And we've had simple stuff like, screens put in the game where you can jump in as your character and watch a concert that's happening like you're at an actual concert in real life, but it's virtual. To everything from that to Travis Scott taking over the Fortnite universe and this big, ginormous version of himself stomping around and throwing the world into different realms and going underwater and doing all this cool stuff. Fortnite has allowed for artists to find a new, fresh way to innovatively connect with their audience. And I think it's wild. My brother has mentioned artists because he saw them on Fortnite that he hadn't listened to, that I knew of. So it's like it's becoming that stirring, that cultural melting pot that I think is so dope for artists. That's my pro.
Yeah, and if I could just jump in real quick and say something that is very upsetting to me when it comes to how society, especially the social internet aspect of society, sees this game is they like to meme it and make fun of it, where they're like, oh, you heard of this because of Fortnite? You're whack. You heard of this because of this? It's like, who gives a fuck? If I heard of this because of Fortnite, be happy that I'm giving it a chance because maybe I'll love it. Let Fortnite be that for people. We all heard about something in different ways. Like, let's stop shitting on people because my 13-year-old sister heard about an artist via Fortnite instead of on whatever social platform you heard it off of, what's the difference? Because it's Fortnite and Fortnite equals bad according to people?
You know, some of them suckers be secretly playing Fortnite, bro. Plus, stop playing with Fortnite in the sense of like, it's actually quite competitive. Since they took the building away, it's only opened up for more competitive gameplay and it's very intense. So stop playing with Fortnite's name, son.
To your music point, I give Fortnite and Epic Games credit where they're not even doing the same crap every time they do one of these concerts. The first concert I think was Marshmello, where they built a literal concert stage and they had you stand in front of the concert stage and he performed on stage. Then Travis Scott came and stomped all over the island. Then Ariana Grande opened portals up and had you flying around on pigs. And then the Kid Leroy came and had you running away from a robot T-Rex. It's just different every time. There's creative ideas that are implemented to be new and not stale old, same old crap.
Yeah. And getting back to game mechanics, it's the creativity compounding point because everything that they test out or try with these artists, they then take to build out their final moments for their seasons. And you're like, oh, I remember doing something like this when I was in the Ariana Grande concert, you know, stuff like that. And so I think it's cool that the artists give an opportunity for the designers of the game to push themselves, but then vice versa. It's a quid pro quo. My con when it comes to music is I just think it's scary. I think the only con I have is that it's scary. The point of it becoming a Ready Player One type hub is scary, bro. It's a pretty powerful moment in tech. And for those who aren't familiar, you know, one thing that is important to mention as we head into the rest of this conversation, you know, Epic Games just announced that with their video game engine, they're releasing a 2.0 version of their creative. And that's going to change everything for gaming. Some of my boys were saying that this engine can kill whole games. And it's insane because what they've basically done is they've taken all of the tools they have to build these worlds in these video games and given it to everyone to create whatever they want in this engine and play in those spaces they create as their Fortnite characters. And I just think that concept in itself is scary, bro.
I think it's scary also, but I don't think it's bad. Because we all need ways to explore the creativity inside of us. PlayStation released a game a few years ago called Dreams that reminds me of Fortnite creative. And if this lets people do things that they didn't think they were ever be able to do, I say more power to them. Like me, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with any of that stuff. And because it's accessible through here, I want to try it. I just want to give it a chance.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And so, although it is scary to think about what it might do to the industry, at the same time, it brings back to a point where I mentioned in our last episode, maybe this is how people start giving a crap about entertaining again instead of just the money. Because people are out here making crazy ass things for free
That was very true.
just because they want to showcase their skills and have fun.
Yeah. It's going to be cool. I love that one piece that's important is the pay structure implemented in that creative with the creator economy. So if you create a world in there, a lot of people are playing it, you get a certain percentage of the revenue that comes from that gameplay. It's insane, man. This is what YouTube does. This is what Spotify does. This is what, you know, they offer artists with distribution platforms. So it growing that part of creativity is definitely a cool thing for the entertainment. Willie, let's move on to movies. What are your thoughts on Fortnite and the way that it makes an impact on movies?
I have positives and negatives about this because the way that they implement movies into the game gameplay wise is fantastic. I think of John Wick 3 releasing and they dropped a Continental Hotel in the middle of Tilted Towers or whatever was there at the time. And when you would walk in, you lose all your weapons. Why? Because no business is conducted on the Continental grounds.
Fire.
Or when Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker was releasing, that's a negative in the sense of a huge plot for that movie was revealed in Fortnite, which I don't think was a good idea for the sakes of the movie. But at the end of that event, everybody had a lightsaber. And then for the next 2 weeks, lightsabers were on the map. That was fantastic.
Yeah, and they've brought them back a couple times.
Yeah, and now they've brought it back every May 4th.
So
And
cool.
the skins that release when these movies are coming out or even the TV shows are like they're advertisements for the TV show, but it's also fun because yeah, people want to play as Kylo Ren,
Right.
Darth Vader, John Wick, Indiana Jones. People want to play as those characters, and it's like a toy box when you were a kid. You threw all your
Right.
toys in one big box, you shook them around, and you pulled two out and played as them, and that's just it. And that's what Fortnite is. So I think when Fortnite takes movies and finds a creative way to implement them into their gameplay, it works so well, especially when it's like matches the gameplay very well. Like when No Way Home was releasing, they released spider webs that allowed you to traverse through the enlarged map they had created.
Yeah, like right now we have My Hero Academia with the All Might Fist or the All Might Deku Smash, which is super cool from anime. We also had Dragon Ball Z pop out recently. You could get the Nimbus Cloud. You can have a Kamehameha, like super cool.
Yeah. Even the original Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, man,
when
that was
Thanos
crazy.
was on the map with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And it lets you use power stones and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that was so dope. Or they even made a game mode where you played 3v3 Marvel heroes against each other. You know, Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, and you're just fighting each other 3v3, trying to win in a tournament. I just think they did a great job with that stuff. And before you get into the full point on your cons, I definitely think that's part of what I love about this stop. It's a creative way to market. And honestly, there's millions of people that play Fortnite all over the world, you know? So you get this world stage for them to do these cool things. I just really appreciate it. Go ahead, jump into your cons.
Well, like I was saying with the cons, there's this idea that there are ways movies should be cautious with how they're letting Fortnite do some things. Like The Rise of Skywalker had a returning character make a speech about what his plans were for the movie. That speech isn't in the movie. It is only on the Fortnite event that happened on one Saturday afternoon. That's a little weird.
I mean, I think that whole movie was a little weird. So,
I mean, that's fair. But I just think that while Fortnite is a great way to advertise, don't put all of your money into making that a huge selling point.
nah, definitely. I think that's not going to happen. I think with them opening it up to more people to be able to create stuff, it won't feel as special because when everyone's super, no one is.
Speaking of super, television wise, Dragon Ball Super, when they had their little crossover, they had a map and an area where you could go and watch the show. You could just sit down and they had full episodes playing because they wanted people to see what it was about.
Yeah.
It's not just here's the characters. No, here's the material where it's from. Give it a try. Maybe you'll like it. And it's a win-win for everybody, right? You're on spending hours on our game watching it to see if you like it, playing as the characters. You go watch it, you come back, you buy the character. It's smart. It's just smart from a business perspective and it's entertaining for us. What's the problem?
I would love to. I mean, you're going to hear it. We're more pro than con on this. There are cons, but the cons are so minor in comparison to creatively just what it does for industry. I think TV shows, um, I didn't even know certain shows were coming out until I saw their skins pop up on Fortnite. And I said, oh, snap, that show's dropping soon? Or I found out about shows. What's this character from? Oh, that's from so and so. Oh, I have to check that out. That skin looks tough. I also love that they're not just putting mainstream deals up. There are deals with much more independent characters, like the arcane characters dropping out for a couple was a smaller, more minor project. Seeing them made so much sense because gaming is gaming, and League of Legends and all that. But it was still so cool to see that. So I love that we're getting more visibility to some of these games because of Fortnite as well. So now we're not just getting more visibility to creators, we're also getting more visibility to the creations, and that's dope.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've always heard that Attack on Titan was phenomenal, but I would be lying if I said that was the only reason why I'm watching it currently. I'm watching it currently because I'm like, he's in the battle pass, and I gotta know if he deserves to be one of my loadout skins, you know? And that's not a selling point, but it was definitely something that pushed me to watch it now more than ever. But the visibility for things is great. It's very much appreciated that they're like, we're gonna showcase the big and the small. We're gonna showcase the next MCU project, and then an anime that has nothing new coming out right now, but why not? It's dope.
Yeah, I love it. I think for gaming, right, as we go to the last point, um, bro, I just think that like it was so foreign to see Microsoft characters like Master Chief involved in anything that has to do with PlayStation and vice versa. So the fact that guys on Xbox can play as Kratos, um, or that we can play as Master Chief is cool as we play PlayStation. I love that cross-platform concept. They've unified gaming with their platform, with their game. Fortnite is now a place where we get to see a mix of games that shouldn't be mixing. And I like that. I like that a lot. So people who complain about, I'm shooting you as Kratos with a gun, and you're shooting, killing Master Chief.
I don't remember anybody ever complaining about it when it was free Minecraft skins in 2012.
Bro, but that's because that was still slept on. I just think people love hating to hate, but I also think like don't act like when you were a kid you didn't wish these characters could meet. Like we weren't hyped for those shows, the shows where two shows come together, the mashups,
Those
yeah,
little,
yeah, those. Everybody
yeah.
was excited for those. Come on.
Yeah, to your gaming point, they also honor like if you're using Kratos, right, as a PlayStation player, you get a different outfit. You get like a nice gold armor. If you're using Master Chief on Xbox, you get a black version. If you're using Marcus Phoenix, you get a black version. So it's dope. We wish Nintendo would play along, but Nintendo's very stingy about the way their characters are used. So
Word.
that ain't happening.
Maybe I don't know, bro. I
With
think it'll happen eventually.
with this in mind, I think unless you have a different idea, I would love to go into the conversation of creativity from Epic Games themselves,
Let's do it.
because a lot of people's criticism of these crossovers is that Epic Games is lacking in their own original ideas, and I feel like that is also very false,
I agree.
because they are releasing their own stuff while also doing these new things. And then they've also recently done a thing where they mix the two together.
Yeah.
They have a Fortnite character dressed up like Captain America with her own shield. But like to say that they're lacking in creativity in their own ideas is crazy when you look at a topic I want to get into later, the lore of what Fortnite Battle Royale is, because that joint is crazy.
Big facts. Even more so than just stopping to look at what they're currently doing, because that's a big point. I'll let you talk about that because you might know more than me. Epic Games has always been creative. Shout outs to Gears of War. Hello? What are we talking about, man? Gears of
Yeah, that
War.
original Gears of War trilogy.
My bad. The Coalition has taken over the production process for that game since I think it was Gears of War 4. But they're still trying to pay homage to the style and the skill of Epic Games. It actually reminds me a lot of Rocksteady's Arkham's and how they've been tone setting. I think the same situation with Epic Games and their ability to create a universe like Gears of War. So that's one, you're bugging out. Two, the Unreal Engine, which is their personal company's engine, has made so many games. This isn't new to them to throw gas on the flame of creativity. They are innovators so that innovators can innovate. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man, people see Fortnite and they immediately want to just talk shit. It's just how it is, unfortunately. It's like when I hear Epic Games, I immediately think Gears of War because that's what I grew up with. But I will not deny that Fortnite is now Epic Games. Fortnite is what Epic Games will probably be known for unless they create some crazy new shit.
Yeah, I hear you. There are a couple games coming out this year too from them. Just pay attention, guys. Stop sleeping on Epic Games. But yeah, let's jump into that last piece of the Fortnite lore and the story. I don't know how much you know about the story. I try to keep up on my summaries for the guys that do all the investigative work, but I have been kind of out the loop for the last couple seasons.
I mean, Fortnite lore is crazy. And in my opinion, it's just almost like they just be throwing random shit out there. And then they're like, we're going to figure out how to tie this in. Sometimes they're like, all right, we're going to tie this in this way, very simple. And sometimes it's incredibly complex, or it's just like, y'all are just doing shit. And because of how much time you'll have to play around with it, your mindset is, I'll figure it out later. But I won't lie, it's fun. It's fun having this ridiculous lore that they just be throwing out there here and there, and it's just
No
like,
sense, no rhyme or reason.
back in chapter 1, they're like, "Well, here's a group of people known as the 7, and here's, in chapter 1, season 3, which came out in early 2018, they're like, well, here's one person. He is known as the scientist, and he is the member of a group known as the 7.
Yeah.
Have fun waiting till 2021 to meet all of them,
Yeah, they did that.
where the leader's played by Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson himself popped out, bro.
Yeah. But it's just like they just be doing things and it's interactive. Why? Because of another thing that Fortnite does best, live events. Log
Yeah, they
in
created
between
those.
this time and this time, or else you're missing this event where everything in the game stops. And then, boom, watch this. One of my favorite live events was the Chapter 1 Season 9 event. And it's not because of what happened in the event, but it's where I was when the event was happening. It was the monster frozen in the mountain versus the robot that the army built in Fortnite.
Oh yeah. That was a crazy event.
I was sitting in a suit
That was
and
so
tie on a couch in the hot ass middle of nowhere, waiting for you to get married, watching the event off my phone. And your boy walks through and he's like, yo, you got Wi-Fi? I'm like, yeah. He goes, you watching that Fortnite event? I'm like, yeah. And he pulled up next to me on the couch and we watched that shit together while everyone else was getting ready. And it's just like,
That's a fact.
no matter where you are, you gotta tune in. You gotta tune in to the Fortnite because
Yeah, it's cool.
it's fun. Like normally they need like they'll do everything and you'll watch a cutscene that they release online about something crazy that happens, but no, they make it happen in game with everybody around. And the more they went on, the more interactive they became. It wasn't just you standing there on a building watching things happen. It was you're on the spaceship running around fighting the aliens, or you're controlling the big robot now. And so the integration of lore that doesn't make sense until it does make sense, and the participation and immersiveness that you have in that lore, even the simple things of you're wearing a certain skin and a character found on the map will interact with you differently. If there's the big bad and you walk in as one of his henchmen, he'll be like, get back to work. But if you walk in as an enemy, he'll be like, why are you here? They put
Crazy.
thought into these such simple NPC lines to the big events that I'm just like, y'all got it. Even if this shit doesn't make sense, y'all are doing something. Whoever's smoking something at Epic Games, keep doing it.
Crack rock.
Keep doing it because you're delivering something.
It's cool, man. It's not like, oh, we'll set the bar and you jump. It's like we'll set the bar and we'll both jump creatively, and that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
And
this leads into a con that I have, though. It's maybe a little bit where the crossovers bother me a bit too much, where these big pieces and answers that we really want take place over crossovers, where Batman needs to come in and solve something for you that's so intricate to the lore of this game. And you're like, what would you have done if Batman weren't a part of your story? Or they need the help of Spider-Man and Wolverine and Black Panther to find this one person and beat him. And it's like, what would you have done if you didn't have access to this? That's where I'm more so of like, I wish I would have seen this not in a Batman 5-part comic releasing every other month.
yeah, I feel you. I think they're just still, when you do something creative like that, there's hit or misses always. There's always a risk in doing something like that. But it was cool. I like that. Like, again, my brother was talking about those comics, and it's like comics, bro. You got kids that are so far away from anything actual paper. It's digital, most things, and they want to talk about comics. So, like, I think that's so dope, So it's not a loss all the way.
No, not at all. Like we were saying earlier, the outreach that it has is fantastic. But for Fortnite itself, I was more so like, damn, that hurt a little bit. But because of all these things, because of this lore, I would not be surprised if we get a Epic Games crossover with some movie company to create an animated Fortnite movie answering these questions.
Yep. I think that'll happen in time, man. And they're not rushing because they don't need to. They're having fun. So, yeah, man, the lore is just great. If you want some fun, just go to shout outs PlayStation Grenade. He's the guy who I watch all my summaries from.
Me too.
You watch him too? Yeah, he's the man. They'll break it down, man, and tell you. And that's the other thing. The map updates once a week. I think it's Tuesday. You jump in and the map doesn't look the exact same way. Majority, 95% of it will. But, there'll be the 5% that like certain elements have moved on the map or certain things have, and they take the time to go into each segment of the map and make these small changes. And I appreciate that creativity. But then there's also moments where new cities are introduced in that next week, and it brings a fresh challenge to the game, not knowing how to navigate this space or how to fight people in that space. And so they've just been going off, man. And when I think of lore, right? When I think of lore, I think back to 2011, actually, when I saw a beta, like their first trailer ever for Fortnite, and it was a tower defense game. It was a game where
zombie tower defense game.
A zombie tower defense game where you build out your fort and then you try to like stand off against waves of zombies. And when this game launched, I think it was 2017? 2017, it started as just that zombie tower defense game. And then Battle Royale got hot. What was it? What's the name of that game that went crazy on PC? That was a BR game.
DayZ.
DayZ went crazy. DayZ went crazy. And then when that was blowing up, Battle Royale had kind of gotten this new wave, and Fortnite knew to jump on it. And they said, let's just try it. And I remember it being so rudimentary and basic because it wasn't made for that. And to see how far it's come and the lore they've dared to build, a lot of the questions that you have in terms of what this zombie thing is and what this world is about, if you play the Save the World, which is another piece that is still just as active, they're keeping it maintained. They're still keeping it online. They haven't added as much because they've obviously diverted resources, but it's still something they know people love, so they show it love and they keep it alive. You can still buy skins that go for both the battle royale and save the world to this day, you know. So I like that, man. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and Epic honors those who were playing for Save the World by V-Bucks, the way you buy skins. If you were one of their original supporters for that original game, they're like, "Hey, every week we'll give you more V-Bucks. Every day you'll have a chance to get 50 V-Bucks if you need it." That adds up. It's how I've managed to not spend money on Fortnite for like 4 years now. But yeah, there's all of that. They've grown to be something that nobody thought they would. I can't actually see them dying anytime soon because of what they're doing. I feel like there's so much more that you can do with Fortnite that it's like what Roblox is, kind of. I feel like Fortnite is heading down that path, though, like I said earlier, of an oasis. They are making themselves out to be
A world, bro. It's a world that you can
different.
enter.
Yeah. Um, I don't know if you have anything else you wish to cover.
Yeah, man. I think we're just we're witnessing something crazy right now. I'm glad that we get to kind of live through this and experience this and see it happen, and how cross generational the game is. I think that's so cool. But I know you had a couple more talking points, right? What were those last couple points you wanted to say?
Yeah, cross generational is facts because like how you at your age, you're hopping on with me and then my little brother who's 2 decades younger than you, like
Crazy.
it's mad dope. And we just sit there and we play and we win and we're all screaming like, yeah,
Big
we did
facts.
it, yeah.
We did it. Let's
Um,
go.
like playing with my little sister and my little brother on that game is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
but for the first point that I want to bring up, because I only have two, we have people yelling at Epic Games, telling them, because we already spoke about like creative ideas. Yeah, Battle Royale wasn't their original idea. They took that from somewhere. And that's the thing about Fortnite. They are also just seeing what other people have and they are taking it and implementing it in their game. And people have a problem with it.
Bro, Apple's been doing that for decades.
But people don't talk about things that aren't video games like that, bro. Chill.
Stop.
The reboot van from Modern Warfare is the reboot van on Fortnite now. Who cares? I don't. Like, if it works, it works. Why are we telling people that they can't implement something to make their thing stronger just because it came from somewhere else? Y'all just might be mad because when they took that idea, it might have just worked better for them.
Right. And they don't do it like shamelessly copy. I think they take it and they have it match the format of their world and the culture of their world, you know. And I think that that's what all the best video games do, man. Can we stop? If you want to talk about just video games, man, Battlefield and Call of Duty have been stealing from each other since day one, bro. Since day one, these fighting games, they steal from each other. You know what I mean? These spy games, these multiplayer games, like everybody's copying everybody, trying to innovate and create
Yeah.
something. So
Yeah.
stop.
And now, at the same time, here's what I'll say. Not every game should try and be like Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm seeing an armored Titan running around on Call of Duty. It doesn't match.
No, they got to stop.
You need to find a way to match it perfectly. I heard leaks that Call of Duty was adding a Captain America World War One skin a year ago. That is
Yeah,
valid because he's a soldier. It
that would have been
works.
sick.
But Fortnite is just a toy box. Let it be that toy box.
Yeah, bro.
I don't need to
It's
see
the money.
Attack on Titan in Call of Duty. Even though it is a World War esque idea, nah, I'm good. But with my last point, which we've kind of hinted at over the episode, is this just negative idea of what Fortnite is. And here's my little pissed off rant. Because what happened was streamers got on Fortnite and they try harded and they showed people how to try hard. And then everyone try harded. And then what happened? these streamers got out tryharded.
Right.
Ninja got out tryharded. All these other people got outplayed. And then when they were no longer the best, they started talking about how this happened and yada, yada, yada. But it's like you introduced everyone to the idea of cranking 90s,
Right.
as they say, the way it was always there, but you introduced people to that idea. And that's when it started. That's when the tryhards came out. And then all of a sudden it's Epic's problem.
Right.
Because Epic is trying to deal with the crap that you started.
Yeah, man.
And then you want to talk about how Epic is the problem and how you're going to walk away because Epic did this, when in reality, you messed up. I just hate that bullshit of people like doing all of the damage and then walking away because now the damage is being thrown back to them. It's whack.
I think it's always going to happen like that, though. Unfortunately, it's always so easy to play the blame game on the developer, the person responsible for creating the piece. It's whatever, man. I just think even with all that, moments where people have been like, Fortnite's dead. It's not dead, bro. It's never been dead, bro. Even streamers can say it's dead. Stop playing it, and it's not dead, bro. It's resilient. So
they be putting up numbers.
Scary, bro. The game is scary, bro. I'm really excited to see where it's headed.
Isaiah, overall, what do you think the legacy of what Fortnite is gonna be? What do you think that legacy looks like for both Fortnite, video games, and entertainment as a whole?
I think it will continue to be a partner in the different manners of marketing, of gaming, of shows, of movies. I think this is the beginning of like a empire, bro. I know it sounds mad dramatic, but I think that they're setting themselves up to skate across multiple mediums in a very insane way. And I love that it will be a partner, that this thing that started as a game, this company that just started making games, has grown into this thing that could implement innovative and new ways of storytelling in entertainment industry. I'm just excited to see that come to fruition, bro. I think that's the legacy ahead of it. I think of our last episode when Brian asked where he thinks that things are headed, and where Steven was saying where we think that things are headed with entertainment. I think that anytime that conversation's had, Epic Games needs to be at the table of that convo. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think the legacy is similar to how Last of Us in 2013 changed the way single player games are made. Fortnite is doing that for multiplayer games. And they're going to do that just entertainment, because I think industries are now looking at video games a little bit harder. Like, you have outreach.
You make money.
If you can make money and entertain, why not do it?
Come on, bro. Come on, son. I'm trying to see more of that. And so, all that being said, we say thank you to Epic Games for the memories we have been able to make while playing your games. It's just dope. It's dope to sit and to reflect on that. Stop talking negatively about Epic Games. They definitely had their fingerprint on something you loved in the last 5 to 10 years on gaming, which is kind of crazy. And any last points, Will?
Thank you, Epic Games, for Gears of War. I know this is a Fortnite episode, but I gotta say it. And then thank you for Fortnite. Some of my best gaming memories come from Fortnite, from being with my friends and playing and screaming at each other and all that. It's great. And last little point, yo, if by some grace of God, Donald Mustard is sitting here right now listening to this, I need you to drop an Anakin Skywalker skin ASAP. Thank you.
Anakin. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in to our 9th episode here at CUZZO-OP. We're so glad that this thing is going. And if you're enjoying this, we'd love for you to interact with us. Please keep an eye out for Discord announcements that are coming up to join our community and be able to discuss some of the points of our episodes with other people like-minded, people who might see it differently than you. And as always, follow us on everything, man. Follow us on, we're on TikTok, secret account. We haven't put anything out there, but if you could find us, follow us. Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the Anchor app, of course, YouTube. Just continue to follow along with us as we keep diving into these different aspects of entertainment culture. One last time, thank you. Thanks for riding with us. This has been another episode of CUZZO-OP, where you'll always find two cousins, one podcast, endless entertainment.